Hey everyone, today we're going to be playing Detective Grimoire. It's a really fun game with a beautiful soundtrack. I hope you'll love it because it's one of my favorite games of all time. And since today is the last day Flash is going to be supported, I decided to play it before it was gone. We're going to get right into it. Alright. At 10:28 last night, a body was found at the local fairground that operates just outside of town. The cleaner, one Jerry Spears, discovered the dead body of his former colleague inside the Hall of Mirrors. All of the evidence points towards murder. The clown, Charles Ringer, who works at the very same fairground, is the main suspect. He seems to have some less than favorable links with the victim. If this grim case remains unsolved, the fairground manager, Mr. Gary Coles, has stated he will have to permanently shut down operations. Private Detective Grimoire has been called in to clear things up. We've got one evening to find the truth about what happened last night. If Grimoire can't solve this mystery, no one can. So, Officer James. Man's got a nice mustache. Not as nice as mine. Yeah. Alright. I'm not gonna repeat myself again, Grimoire. You were listening this time, right? Something pretty nasty happened here last night. I'd say everyone in that fairground is a suspect, and you've got only this one evening to do your thing. My thing? Don't tell me you're getting nervous now. The other guys tell me you're the best at this. I am. You're not gonna let me down, are you? No, sir. It's your job to talk to the suspects and explore the fairground for clues. You'll obviously need to take a look at the crime scene. But don't overlook any details, understand? Right. I think I understand. I have a bad feeling about this place. I can't shake it. Everyone is a suspect. It's your job to find out who has a credible alibi and who is lying to you. You should be able to work out who the murderer is by proving everyone else is innocent. If you're confused about what to do, don't hesitate to ask me. Alternatively, the tutorial information is available from your notes page, where you can also save your game. Alright, what's with the mustache? It's neither here nor there. Tell me about it. That thing is here, there, everywhere. Alright, let's see what happens if we click help. Okay, no, it's just notes. Alright, ready. Oh, you're just ready, alright. Or any clues in the car park. I have to try a little harder than that. Alright, let's move to the fairground entrance. There's someone there. Wait, what? Hi! What on earth? Where are your parents? This is the scene of a crime. I know, that's why I'm gonna help you out, detective. Ooh. Why did you say it like that? I'm a real detective. Yeah. In that case, where's your hat? If I had a nickel. Detectives don't have to wear hats anymore. Plus, it messes up my hair. It does. Your boy clean. Ooh. Yeah. Anyways. I believe you. Anyway, hat or not, you're still gonna need this. A map of the fairground. Hey, thanks. See you later. I have no idea who that was, but I'm pretty sure she's not the murderer. I sure hope not anyway. Alright. No clues. There's someone here too. I'd better get this investigation underway. Hey, you over there. Who on earth are you? I'm Detective Grimoire. I'm here to solve the mystery of last night's murder. Right, I see it now. The trench coat and everything. Hey! Yeah! That's beside the point. Hugh Everton was murdered last night, and you, Charles Ringer, are a suspect. The main suspect, in fact. Oh, because I'm a clown who made that wonderful leap of logic. Look, I know Hugh and I never got on, but I can tell you one thing. I'm not capable of murder or anything close. Look at me. Is this the face of a killer? Yeah. I'm gonna have to get a little more information out of him, I think. Alright. If you're not the killer, what were you doing last night? I was here, of course, you know, being a clown and all that. I left quite late last night, actually. I had a few holdups in the evening, but I didn't see anything suspicious. What was the last thing you saw before you left? Let's see. On my way out, I walked past the Hall of Mirrors and noticed that the door was slightly open. I closed it and carried on through the fairground. The only strange thing about that whole episode was how quiet the Hall of Mirrors door was. It normally lets out a loud creak when you move it. I think that's part of the attraction, you know? The Hall of Mirror. That's the crime scene. I wonder why the door didn't crack that evening, and why would it be open? Alright. The fair. So you work as a clown at this fairground. How long have you been here? A long time. Too long, in fact. I don't really like the way things are going around here. I have no idea why I haven't left for good. I was appalled when the boss hired Hugh Everton to look after the funhouse. Not only was he useless at his job, he was nearly completely deaf with old age. It's just not practical. Still, no one deserves, well, you know. He was deaf with old age and not very good at his job. This could be important information. Do you get on with the rest of the staff? That'd be a bit of an exaggeration, I'm afraid. I don't mind Mandy and her uncle, but that Ricky, I'm a top-notch entertainer or character is just too much. He doesn't even like kids. What a joke. He doesn't even take pride in his work. Looks like Charles finds it hard to get along with Ricky or he's the entertainer, I think. Also, who is Charles to talk about pride with that big hole in his costume? Maybe I should ask him about that. I see it. If you don't mind me asking, why is there a big hole in your trousers? Surely you'd want to be a little neater than that, even if you are a clown. To be honest, I'd rather we didn't talk about the unfortunate condition of my frilly clown slacks. That's the first time anyone has ever said that, I bet. Still, there must be more to the story of this ripped clothing. Maybe I can find a clue that will get him to elaborate. Alright. Alright, so let's move here. Excuse me, miss. Do you work here? I'm pretty sure I do. The name's Mandy. Mandy Farrer? I'm in charge of running this game cell. You seem a bit young to be working in a place like this, don't you think? You see a bit young to be a private detective. Oh, are detectives only allowed to wear a hat when they reach a certain age? Hey, I'm older than I look, I'll have you know. Anyway, could you tell me a little about yourself? I'm conducting an investigation to find out about last night's murder. Of course you are. Why else would you show up? Unless you're after some candy floss. Did you know it's actually bad for you? My powers of deduction do stretch that far, thanks. I'm not sure what to tell you. I've worked here for a little while. I got a job through my uncle. This job is helping me pay for college. But it's a lot of fun too. I get to hand out toys to kids. Who doesn't want that? I wonder if her uncle is here at the fairground. Should be if she got the job through him, so yeah. Could you tell me what you were doing last night? How could I forget, really? I was here late, like I normally am, just kicking about. Eventually, I hear shouts coming from the Hall of Mirrors, and then Jerry, oh, that's the cleaner, he comes running over to me and starts telling me what's happened. I helped him call the police. After they showed up, we were allowed to go home. So, you were one of the last people here last night. Seems that way. But I was here at my stall the whole time, you know. Well, I had things to do, you know. I wonder why Mandy stays late every night. I think I should have a look around before I press her about it. I wonder why there are so many books. I'll try asking Manny about them, I suppose. These toys look really cheap. Maybe I should ask Mandy about them. I can't be certain, but I don't think it's possible to win that ring toss game. I'm not gonna try my luck anyhow. Alright. How do you get on with the other staff here at the fairground? Oh yeah. The guys often argue amongst themselves, but I stay out of it. Charles the clown is a pretty hard guy to get on with, but he's got a good heart. I can't say I had a particular dislike for anyone except, well, Jerry does get on my nerves, but he's sweet, I guess. I got on well with you, although no one could deny he was pretty useless at his job. The fun house was always in a terrible state. Sometimes I try to help you with repairs or ideas for improvement, but he never get anything done. I always figured the boss would replace him, but now look what's happened. It sounds like Mandy has an interest in the fun house. I don't want to sound rude, but those toys look pretty cheap. I've never seen those characters anywhere before. What? You never heard of Turquoise Bunny and his friend Ruby Rabbit? What about everyone's favorite, the King of Scar Felix? Oh, the King of Scare Felix. Or Jimmy the Striped Horse. He's quite a new one, actually. That's the little girl. It's you again. You need to find your parents and go home, I'm afraid. I can't go just yet. You still need my help. I'm quite capable of carrying out this investigation without you, thanks. Although that map is really useful. I haven't used it. Really? Have you managed to get into the funhouse yet? There's a small opening to the left of the main door. You can go through there. It'll lead into a small office where he used to work. Thanks, I guess. How do you... She's gone. What a weird kid. I guess I'll try getting through that opening after I've checked out the crime scene, which is the Hall of Mirrors. Alright. Map. Game stall 2. Okay. It's the layout. 5 more places to discover. Green marker. What's this green marker pin doing here? I can't help feeling it's out of place. This place is a mess. There's no one here minding the stall. There's a considerable space behind that table. Looks like there's no one there at the moment. Interesting. You can clearly see the Hall of Mirrors through that grubby little window. The Hall of Mirrors, the crime scene. Alright. Let's move there. Look. Ricky. Hey there, kiddo. What's your name? It's Grimoire. Detective Grimoire. And I'm no kid, thank you very much. Sounds like somebody needs some candy floss. Did you lose your hat? Aw. These dudes. I do not need any candy floss, and I did not lose my hat. Now, if you don't mind, I need to ask you about last night's murder. Hey man, no need to shout. That I did not expect. Can that guy really be a kid's entertainer? Yeah, so I'm the entertainer here. I entertain kids and stuff. That's great. Ricky Ward, is it? That's it. What do you want then? Well, I'm not very entertained, that's for sure. Yeah. And look. Red nose. A clown's red nose. I wonder what it's doing on the ground. Ooh, the Hall of Mirrors, the crime scene. Alright. Right then, I need to know everything you saw last night, as in as much detail as you can manage, please. Yeah, I was here all evening, nothing happened. You have to remember something, think. I hope he does, or I'll be a little stuck. Well, I guess there was one thing. Excellent. Please, go on. I went home pretty late. On my way past here, I saw Hugh. Outside the Hall of Mirrors. Hugh? Yeah, he was heading inside, actually, mumbling something about leaving the light on. The light? Was it on last night? Yeah, I don't know why, though. Maybe that's why he was going in, to switch it off. Did you notice anything else? I didn't see anything. Not even... Oh. See that oil by the door to the Hall of Mirrors? That wasn't there when Hugh went in last night. I see. Well, that's very helpful. Thanks, Ricky. Wait, there's one more thing. As I was walking away, I heard a loud squeaky noise. I guess it was probably the Hall of Mirrors door. Wow, you turned out to be useful after all. What? Ooh. Thanks again. So Hugh went into the Hall of Mirrors to turn off the light. The oil wasn't on the ground when he went in. And the door let out a screech when he opened it. What does it all mean? See the no clues. Ooh, got a couple of clues. So the light, he saw the light. I can clearly see the Hall of Mirrors light shining through the single window. Alright, let's check out this crime scene. Oh wait, the oil first. Some oil has been spilled right by the door to the Hall of Mirrors. Right? It's squeaking now. E. There's a large blood stain on the floor. Understandable, really. Yeah, the man got stabbed, it seemed like. There's oil right here, marks on the ground. There are some black marks on the ground. Looks like someone tried to wipe something away. Something. Oil? Maybe? Broken mirror. The mirror has been broken down one side. The door into the hall is not visible in the now shattered reflection. So you can't see the door on the reflection. Where's the light switch? There are some glass shards on it. There are some shards of glass on the floor. There don't seem to be very many. Is that it? This is the scene of the crime, alright. Looks like that's it. Can you tell me anything else about the fairground? I can't think of anything. We're all one big happy family. Yep, that's right. Is that so? Then why did someone get killed? Yeah, well, a few people thought he was a waste of space. Dang, but he kind of was. Like, the funhouse is a tip. It's not really safe. I remember Farrah always said she could do a better job of running. Fair. So you're sure you get on with everyone here at the fairground? Yeah, I kind of keep to myself usually. I'm not thoroughly convinced. I thought he had beef with someone. It's the door inside. This place has officially given me the creeps. Move to the big wheel. Oh. Big wheel. Ferris wheel. Pete. Pete. Oh. Why, hello there, young man. Can I help you with something? As a matter of fact, you can. I assume you know all about the murder last night. I'm afraid to say I do. Such a terrible loss. I can barely comprehend it. Well, one is gonna have to try. You're the mechanic, right? Peter Nubhat, at your service. I believe you've met my niece Mandy. Oh, he's the uncle. Your niece? Oh, yes I have. Glad to hear it. I hope she was polite to you. Ha ha ha. So this is Mandy's uncle, the mechanic. I wonder what I can learn from him. Alright. So if you don't mind me asking, where were you last night? Well, let's think about that. For most of the evening, I was fixing the back of the funhouse, as always. But I remember leaving relatively early. Thinking about it now, I'm quite glad that I did. Did you see or hear anything suspicious last night? Anything at all? Well, I did catch a glimpse of young Ricky and Charles arguing, right over there by the Hall of Mirrors. The entertainer and the clown. Ricky and Charles were arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors last night? What about? I'm not normally one for eavesdropping, of course, but I think it was something to do with being popular with the children. And something about a red nose. I can't remember much else. Maybe you should ask them. I should definitely go back and ask Ricky and Charles about that. It might be important. Have you worked here long? Oh yes, very long time. I've seen many staff members come and go, but Gary normally knows how to run things. Gary? Who's that? Gary Coles, our boss. You'll probably find him in his office. Yes, he's usually capable of making the right decisions. But not always. Ha ha ha. Is anyone? Does he want me to answer? Oh good, he looked away. I'm no good at rhetorical questions. How well do you get on with the rest of the staff? As well as could be expected, apart from I've been known to argue with Charles on a couple of occasions. But most of the people on here are guilty of that. He's so difficult sometimes. Sounds like Pete doesn't have much love for Charles the clown. So you like the way things are run around here? Most of the time, yes. I think I could say that. I'm not the only one who thinks that the funhouse has seen better days. Hugh never really enjoyed his job, I don't think. Hugh let the funhouse fall into a state of disarray? Yes, I'm afraid so. My niece Mandy often complains of it to me. I tell her not to cause trouble, but I know she could do a better job any day. Ha ha ha. So Pete knows of his niece's desire to run the funhouse. Okay, search for any clues. There are any clues back here? Alright. Are you Jerry Spears? The police tell me you were the one to discover the murder last night. You got it right. That was pretty scary stuff, I tell you. I can imagine. You're the cleaner here at the fairground, am I correct? I prefer the term refuge engineer, actually. Oh, sure. I'm sorry, you look quite young to be working here. Too young to be working at a fun fair? Most of the guys here are too old, that's what I say. Haha. Yeah, I'm the youngest person here. But being young has its perks, you know? Cleaner or not, I have a feeling this guy is gonna have some important information on him. Obviously, I need you to recount the events of last night. You're an important witness. Don't worry, man. I've been going over this in my head since last night. I haven't forgotten a single detail. I'll bet. I stayed pretty late. I was cleaning up around here all evening. Eventually, I went around the whole fairground to give it a final clean. That's when I went into Hall of Mirrors and found Hugh. You weren't the last person here though, right? That's right, Manny was still here, working away, so I ran to find her. We called the police, and as soon as they'd arrive, after we gave our statements, we were allowed to leave. And that's it? Yeah. Why? Did I forget something? Got one more person, I think. Yes. So you normally stay around the food court? Naturally. This is the area that needs the most cleaning. Did you notice anything else yesterday? It seems you'd have a pretty good view from here. A good view? You bet. I did notice a couple of things. I got here real early, you see, before the boss. I saw Pete coming from the direction of the house in the morning. He put something in that bin over there. And then went into the toilet cubicle. Is that right? I bet he probably scribbled some stupid message on the wall in there. People are always using it as a message board. Honestly, it's just extra work for me, you know. Sounds like I need to check out that bin and the cubicle toilet. The trash bin and the WC? First, the fun fair is so run down. How has it not been shut down by health inspectors? Haha, I get that a lot. Why have they even employed a cleaner, you're thinking? Apparently the abandoned look is very popular with the kids these days. We create everything to look old and rusted and dirty, but in fact, it's all incredibly clean. That table behind me is only a couple of days old. Hold on. How do you tell when things really do get dirty? Well, you see, haha, I guess I have no idea. It makes my job easier, don't you think? More time to take in the sights. The sights. The sights. What do you mean by the sights? Oh, well, trees and birds and whatnot, stuff like that, right? I haven't noticed a single tree or bird since I've been here. I think Jerry is hiding something. I love this part. Ooh, get the truth. When a character is hiding something, you must perform an eye contact interrogation, ECI, to get the truth out of them. Oh, you control Grimoire's eye movements with your mouse. Alright, hold your cursor to the left side of his face to look away from the suspect. As soon as they begin lying, you should be able to tell. There will be a white flash. Move your cursor to the right to look them in the eye. If you get it right, they will break down and tell you the truth. Move your mouse over to the back button and click to start the eye contact interrogation. Here we go. Why is it that you love to stare all day? I just sort of go into my own little world. I'm only a kid, that's all we do. I think it's something more specific than that. Like Manny Frier. Why her? That's what's so special about it. Okay, I can't. I give in. Let's go. I can't help myself. She's so perfect. Can you blame me? You stay in the food court so you could stare at Mandy all day. Don't you think that's a little creepy? Yeah. I'll bet I'm the least creepy person you've spoken to here at the fair. They're all about the same. Don't judge me so harshly. Don't worry, kid. I won't say anything. Still, maybe you should get a hobby or something. Don't worry, kid. I feel so old. Anyway, Jerry, creepy as he is, wasn't lying about that. I guess he's only young. I wonder what Mandy thinks of him. Alright. This place is a food court. I'm not sure I'd want to eat here myself. Yes, sir. Sign. They appear to have some sort of chili dish on special. Alright, so peek through something in here. I found a pair of blue wire cutters in the bin. Alright, let's That's a clue. Yay, I'm in a toilet cubicle. My glamorous high-profile detective life is going smoothly. Okay. There's an argument written on the wall about clowns. It seems to have been written by two different people. It says clowns rule, and somebody scribbled it out. Something rule, give it up. Oh man, here's a drawing depicting Hugh getting hit by lightning. It has been drawn in green pen. There was a green pen in the empty game stall. It's nearly used up. Alright. We discovered all but one place. Oh. How did you get in here? This is a staff-only area. I, well, sort of knocked and you opened the door for me. Do you not remember? Ah, yes. I remember now. You're the local inspector. Come to sort out this mess, right? I prefer detective, actually, and yes, that's right. My mistake. I was led to believe detectives wore hats. That's all. I don't like this guy already. I'm Gary Coles. I run this fairground. Probably not for much longer with the way things are going. I'm murdered in my own grounds, in my very own grounds. I can imagine it must be difficult times, but that's where I come in, you see? I'm wondering how helpful this guy is really going to be. Still, it's my job to try. Would you mind explaining to me what you were doing yesterday evening? Yesterday? Why? Oh yes, murder. I had quite forgotten. How did you forget a murder? I remember myself being annoyed yesterday. Quite dehydrated, yes. I remember coming in shortly before lunch and putting in the various costumes into the wardrobe like usual. So Coles brings in the costumes himself, and he arrived shortly before lunch. Anyway, it was quite hot out, you see. My office is awfully stuffy with the sun, and I couldn't find any way to cool down. That's, well, all important, I suppose. When did you leave in the evening? I always stay later than everyone else and go over the fairground for a final check before I leave. Well, I normally do. I think I did last night. I don't see why I wouldn't. There was nothing special going on. Sounds like Coles is unsure about when he left last night. Maybe there's a clue in here somewhere that could help me get the truth out of him. A calendar? The calendar on the wall says get home early on last night's entry. Maybe I should ask Mr. Coles about this. And the murder was last night. There was no green pen in all the set. The pot looks like it has been knocked over. This office is a real mess. I wonder why. I could ask Mr. Coles about that. There's a wardrobe here which holds the costumes for use in the fairground. Can't open? Alright. Wire. The wire providing water to the cooler has been cut. What else can we find? Guess that's it. Have you been manager of the fairground long? As long as I can remember, to be honest. So, about 5 minutes. I take great pride in ensuring a safe environment for all my staff and all my public. Wasn't safe for Hugh. Some of the staff had been urging me to get rid of Hugh for a while. Did you know he was nearly completely deaf? I didn't actually. Who was trying to get rid of Hugh then? Oh, neither Charles nor Pete particularly loved him. He caused more problems than he solved, that's for sure. Doesn't sound like Hugh was very popular around here. But who was it that finally decided to get rid of him? I noticed your office was in a bit of a mess. Doesn't particularly surprise me, but there's no harm in asking, right? Yes, well, I can assure you I keep this place this office perfectly tidy under normal circumstances. I haven't really had the time to clear up recently. So the mess is your fault. Well, who else would it be? There's one odd thing. My favorite green pin has been gone missing from the desk. From the pot in the desk. It probably got lost in the mess somewhere. But I noticed it disappeared from my room quite suddenly yesterday. After I came back from lunch, I think. So someone was in here during the time Coles went to lunch. Okay, so 3 more clues. Looks like we discovered everything. And we've met every person. Hold up. You told me you couldn't find a way to cool down yesterday. What about the water cooler over there? You're quite right, of course. The water cooler you refer was in fact broken when I came into work yesterday. Not knowing much about these things myself, I called in Pete, our mechanic, to fix it. I think that was around lunchtime. I left him to get on with it as I went to lunch. You left him here alone. Did he fix it? Come to think of it, he didn't. I really should press him on about that. I didn't see him again that day, actually. Pete was in here alone while Coles went to lunch. Oh. Pete told me he saw you and Charles arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors last night. Can you explain yourself? I don't see what... I don't really argue much. Ricky's holding something back. Should I push him? Yeah. You, a suspect, have been seen arguing outside at the scene of crime with Charles, another suspect on the evening of the murder. That's not an answer. It's not an answer. I see. You're lying. I'm certain you don't get on with Charles at all. Hey man, no need to shout. Like I said. Tell me the truth then. Right, well, I don't get on with Charles. We do argue. It's always the same. The kids make fun of him and so on. He gets annoyed, tries to take it out on me. Nothing ever comes out of it. Nothing. Well, I suppose that clears that up. I'm beginning to think that this argument was a red herring. Someone is trying to distract me. Who told him about the argument? Was it... I think Pete told me about the argument. There's that green pin. I spoke to your uncle, Peter Nuphat. You could have told me that the mechanic was your uncle. Did I not mention that? I don't really think anything of it, I guess. Uncle Pete's a good guy. He works hard. Sometimes a little too hard, I think. That was it? Okay. Pete Nuphat told me. Okay, so yeah, he was the one that told him. Pete Nuphat told me that he saw you and Ricky arguing outside the Hall of Mirrors last night. This sounds like a serious matter. Would you mind telling me what it's all about? Ricky and I are always arguing. It's no big deal, really. He's just the argumentative type. You're better off grilling him about this. Maybe I should ask Ricky about this. I did. Oh! He's innocent. He's innocent. Oh, the entrance to the left. Yeah. It was a tight squeeze, but I got through. I hope there's something worthwhile in here. It's Hugh's office. It's possible to see the Hall of Mirrors window through the window here. I can see the light that the light is on. Alright. This place is just as run down as everywhere else. What is this? Oh. The victim's to-do list. It's been added to with a green pin. So who had the pin? Who put the pin there, I mean? The stall. Is that... Whoa, this has to be the murder weapon. And what's this? A brightly colored rag. 2 clues at once. The murder weapon and the rag. I can't talk to him about that? If I show it. Oh, that's... It's a piece of cloth ripped from your clown costume. That's what. Why do you have it? It was found wrapped around the murder weapon, I'm afraid. Looks like your luck has run out. Got him. Wait, I can explain. I get my costume from the wardrobe in the boss's office. He brings in the costumes when he comes into work and places them in the wardrobe. I arrived at the fairground just after lunch. I went in to get my costume, found out that it had a hole in it. Besides, it's not really like me to damage my own clothes. I suppose it would be pretty stupid to wrap a murder weapon in your own clothes. So someone's trying to frame him. I talked to the boss, Mr. Quarles. He's normally in his office, just over in the corner of the fairground. So is he innocent? He's still a suspect. So I could show him the clown nose. I don't know what that is, I'm afraid. I'm not sure about that. This red nose was found outside the crime scene. There's only one guy around here with a red nose, and it's not Rudolph, if you catch my drift. So it's a red nose, but I have no idea how it got there, honestly. I'm almost certain Charles is holding something back, but why? Let's get the truth. This red nose was found outside the scene of the crime. Can you tell me why it was lying on the ground? You're getting on my nerves, you know, shoving stuff in my face like that. Besides... alright. Got him! Alright. I'll tell you why it was lying on the ground. If you really must know, I must. Success! It didn't fall off my face. In fact, it was pulled off yesterday by some kids that came to the fairground. They were making fun of me, and I was just trying to keep my cool. Are you happy now? That's not the sort of thing you'd happily make up. I think I can believe Charles on this one. He's finna lay out some kids. So he believes them. So he's innocent. Does seem like somebody tried to frame these two. She's still a suspect. He's innocent because it seems like he really did only find the body. And the boss, he could have tore the clown's clothing off. And she wants to run the fairground. And Pete was acting kind of sus according to Jerry. So we're getting there. We're halfway there. Oh. We have all the clues. We just gotta present them, I guess. And do the ECI. Alright, so let's see. The map. Alright, so let's go and interrogate her. Oh. They're just from when I get bored, you know. It can get pretty quiet around here. There are an awful lot of them. Are you sure they're just for light reading? I mean, why else would I need them? I'm not sure about this, but I can't help thinking those books have something to do with what Mandy was doing last night. Let's get the truth. Can you tell me why those books are all over your desk? What are you up to? Can a girl have a hobby? I don't see why you're getting so worked up. Okay, you win. I'll tell you what I'm up to. Since you seem so eager to know, I'm studying for my exams, and these are all my revision books. So they're just college books? I need to bring them to the fairground because it's the only chance I get to go over them. Is that why you stayed late last night? That's right. I stay late most nights and use the time alone to get some work done. My exams are in 2 weeks and I'm totally unprepared. That makes sense. Why did you keep it from me, though? I'm not sure. I suppose I was worried you'd think I was weird bringing my revision books. Don't worry. I don't think you're weird. now I'm the one who's been caught lying. Either way, I'm pretty sure this clears up Mandy's alibi. I think I can believe her about this. Either he tore off the piece of clothing and killed him, or he... I don't know, this dude has a lot of clues against him. So I guess we'll confront him about it. He's missing pliers off that belt right there. Let's see what happens. I don't think I've ever seen those before. They're a little dirty. Where on earth did you find them? He hasn't seen pliers? And he's a mechanic? In the bin, actually. Well, I suppose that explains why you're dirty. It doesn't make a genius to see that Pete is avoiding the obvious here. Yeah, it's clearly off his belt. Let's get the truth. These wire cutters, I'm quite convinced they come from a tool belt. What do you think? Well, they could have fallen off any tool belt. Nope. They are exactly the same as all the tools on your belt. There's even one space empty. See? Well, I suppose you're right, haha. They must have fallen off my belt when I was having lunch, and someone found them and put them in the bin. I'm not convinced at all. Still, seems like that's all he's going to say on the subject. Graffiti, put there by some untidy youth, no doubt. Did he write this one? Honestly, Ricky and Charles are so immature sometimes. So those two were arguing about this. Mr. Cole should really take greater care over his belongings. He's not saying much. And I've talked to him about everything I can relate to him. I've not seen that before. You may as well throw it away. The ink has nearly run out. This dude... I don't know. I can't prove him innocent. He's like avoiding on the topics I talked to him about. So our number one suspect is out of the question. He's our number one suspect now. Alright, so let's go talk to Gary. Alright. It's like I said, I normally stay late and give the fairground a final check before I go home. Then why do you leave early yesterday? This calendar is clearly reminding you to go home early. Last night. Did you or did you not leave early last night? Well, you know, a bit of both. Mr. Coles is definitely hiding something from me. Time to get the truth. Alright. You told me you normally give the fairground a final check over before you go. I think there was some learning away from last night. Would you mind telling me what? I don't know. I've never been really good at timekeeping. As far as I can remember, I didn't leave particularly early. Got him. I mean, nothing. Except maybe, well, spit it! Okay. I'll admit it. I rushed home early last night to watch the Star Explorer all-night marathon on Channel 18. I'm sorry. You... What? It was wrong, I know. I just couldn't let a viewing opportunity like that pass me by. My fellow explorers would laugh at me. So we left early just to watch a TV show. I suppose you, learned your lesson. This guy's a little weird, but he's not lying about this, not for a second. So he's innocent. Pete is the only suspect, and we were supposed to prove everyone else innocent. You will collect profile information about each of the suspects you meet, and also the victim. The suspects will begin with the suspect stamp. Once you find out enough information about your suspect, this stamp will change to an innocent stamp. Obviously, one suspect will not be innocent, so that person's stamp will not change. Once you have innocent stamps for all suspects bar one, go speak to Officer James. So, if he did kill him, why would he want to kill him? I thought he argued with... He didn't get along with someone, I remember. He doesn't like fixing the fun house. Doesn't get along with Charles. There's really not anything connecting him to why he would specifically dislike Hugh. looks like you've got your suspect. Are you ready to give your final conclusion? Let's do it! Who was the murderer? That's you, Grimoire. You're not admitting to murder, are you? Charles the Ringer, the clown, Manny Fuhrer, GameStop clerk, Ricky Warrer, the entertainer, Gary Coles, the manager, Jerry Spears, the cleaner, Pete Nubhat, the mechanic. Don't even think about it. Well, Pete's the only one we didn't find innocent. What was the murder weapon? These soft toys, these books, screen marker, this to-do list, this bloody glass shard, cuff, this dirty rag, these wire cutters, these glass shards, this smashed mirror, this black mark, this spilt oil, this red nose. I hope not. I really don't think so. This wire, this cut wire, this pen pot, this calendar. I mean, obviously, unless Grimoire. The first thing Pete did was cut the wire for Cole's water cooler. He left his wire cutters in the bin outside. His first mistake. Officer James. But why did Pete cut the wire from the cooler? Because he hated his boss, Gary Coles. He needed to test out his new wire cutter, so he would call it in to fix it. He only likes warm water to drink. Because he hated him, he would cut just the water cooler? Pete. So, if it is Pete, why would he? He hated him? That wouldn't make much sense. He needed to test out this dude, but he would just throw him away afterwards. It's connected to why he threw it away. So he would be caught in to fix it. Got it, alright. Coles then arrives, bringing him with the costumes for a day. He notices that the water cooler is broken and calls in Pete to fix it during lunch. Pete goes in the office, takes the green pen from the desk, and rips a section off Charles' costume. He eventually uses the pen to draw a picture. Pete drew a picture with the stolen gray marker. Where? He drew a picture in the toilet. Yeah. By this time, Charles has arrived. He goes into the office and takes his ripped clown costume from the cupboard. Later, Pete visits the Hall of Mirrors to smash the mirror. He takes the largest shard. The rat falls and wraps it in Charles' rag. Why did he wrap the glass shard in the torn rag? It could be he didn't want to hurt his hand, so blood evidence wouldn't be there. Or to frame the clown. Before leaving, he leaves on the main light, then hides in the empty game stall where he accidentally leaves behind his green marker. Hugh sees the Hall of Mirrors through the window in his office, and he goes in to turn the light off. The door lets out a loud squeak. So how did oil end up outside the Hall of Mirrors? He's a mechanic, he has access to oil. It had been there since morning, no. Because Pete oiled the door before going in, it had dripped from the roof because Hugh had oil on his shoes. It would make sense to oil the door before going in so he wouldn't hear him. Pete follows, but as to not attract any unwanted attention, he hastily oils the door to silence it before entering, causing a spillage by the door. Hugh has been distracted by the broken mirror, but cannot see behind him, for the mirror is cracked down the side that would normally reflect the door. Where did the black smears on the hall floor come from? They were dry blood from Hugh's wound. They've always been there. Pete left it there on purpose as a clue. Pete wiped up more oil to create the smears. Seems like he tried to clean it, so he wiped up more oil to create the smears. Yes! Pete stabs Hugh in the back with the glass shard. On his way out, he notices he has spilled more oil on the floor. He hastily wipes it up with Charles's rag. Before making his exit, Pete hides the murder weapon along with the oily rag. hid behind the frame in Hugh's very own office. Alright, Grimoire, what was Pete's motive for murder? He wanted to frame Charles Ringer. He hated having to fix the funhouse. He wanted Mandy to run the funhouse, or all of the above. He wanted to frame Charles Ringer. It sure seems like way. He hated having to fix the funhouse. He was complaining about Hugh not maintaining it. And so he'd kill him. Wow. He wanted Mandy to run the funhouse, which would be a reason as to why he would give her the job, or help her get the job. So I think it's all of the above. Let's go! But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and until next time.